Hi everyone, I'm just going to do a quick video on my camera before I ship it out because I've just sold it on eBay. It's the FujiFilm TX1, also known as the Hasselblad XPAN. I'll just quickly go over the camera, tell you what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and just see if I can put some pictures that I've taken with this at the end of the video. For those interested, there are a couple of other videos on the net where people go and use these cameras. Very good. I suggest go watching it because they're quite enjoyable. Okay, this camera was made in around 1998. It's an interchangeable rangefinder system. So rangefinder system, you manually focus, you have a patch in the middle, image goes over, get that lined up, then bang, take your shot. It's all done. Interchangeable lens, you have three lenses to choose from. You got the 30mm f5.6, you got the 45mm f4, and the 90mm f4. This is the 45mm f4 and it is pretty sharp. It's very good, no problems whatsoever. Now in the front you have your ISO, so this is where you set your ISO. It goes from 25 to 3200 and you got DX coding if you're using DX coded film. On the top here you got your shutter dial. It goes from bulb -8 all the way up to 1000, and you've got, I think it's aperture priority, so you just calculates the shutter speed automatically and you can adjust your aperture, which goes up to from f4 to f22 on this lens. And you do have half stops on this lens too, so it's pretty handy. Shutter release dial or shutter, and on the right you got exposure comp dial, and you got on off switch, off on, single shooting, and continuous mode, and self timer, which I won't put on. Now, why people buy this camera? One reason. That's the reason. All of that, well, square in the middle, or rectangle I should say, is going to be exposed to your negative. And you can actually switch that back to normal 35mm dimensions. So, if you want to switch between the two, you have that option instead of carrying two cameras around. Excellent build quality camera, feels really heavy, feels nice, doesn't feel cheap at all, doesn't feel plasticky at all, feels really good. In terms of size, this is my Leica M3. I'll just unscrew it out of the case. So this is my Leica M3 with a light meter on the top, and this is Xpan. So yeah, as you can see, it's a bit bigger than the M3, but the M3 seems to weigh more. Now, what I like about this camera is pretty much everything. I pretty much like this camera a lot. It was one thing at one stage, the only thing I ever shot with was this, because the pictures that you get on the panoramic aspect is quite good. It gives you like a story cinematic feel to your negatives, and it's quite enjoyable, excellent to use. When using this in a panoramic mode, your framing will be different, because some things that look good in normal 35mm dimensions don't often look that great panoramic mode. But nevertheless, the lenses are quite sharp on these. You're gonna have no problems if you see one at a good price which you can afford, and I'll say get it, just even if it's for a while, because these are pretty rare. I don't see them coming up on the market that often, especially ones in really good condition like this. I say have a toy with it, for about a year or 6 to 8 months or whatever, and you can probably sell it for what you bought it for. Don't quote me on that, but that's what's happened to me. I've sold it, and as long as I was getting minimum my money back, I was quite happy with that, which is great. So basically, I'll open it up again. Film goes in here, you load the tip up to there, shut it down, and you're good to go. Great camera. I really enjoy this camera a lot. It's so good. What I don't like about it is the rangefinder patch. It's very small. I mean, I don't know if you can see, but in this Leica, it's going to be very hard to get. I can't even get it. So, like M3 or even the Bessa R2As or the Konica FDs, the rangefinder patch it's okay. It's not too bad. On this one, it's small. So I found myself even squinting when looking for. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. But yeah, I found it small. It's clear and everything. It's bright. It's great, but it's just a bit small, which I don't like. But that's not the reason I'm selling it. I'm just selling it because I'm not using it as much. Because I'm using my other cameras, and I figured instead of just having such a great camera just sitting around the house and I'm not taking it with me, because I don't want to damage this camera. I don't want to, I don't want to put it in my bag and then run around my bag and whatever. I figured I might as well sell it, use that money to buy more film or whatever, So yeah, I mean, it's great. One thing to watch out for is the paint. I've seen a lot of examples online where the paint of these actually flick off and it doesn't look good, but the benefit is that it might be selling at a cheaper price, and then that's a camera you have that you don't worry about messing up like this one. Like this one, I'm actually quite worried about scratching it up, which is why I got a case from Japan Exposures, which wasn't that cheap, but it came with a free strap, which was quite handy for my purposes. So yeah, I hope this video was a benefit to someone who's looking at this camera. And what I would, I wouldn't pay more than $2,000 pretty much for this, if that's just me, because it's fully electronic. I've got no idea what the repair costs on this are. If something goes wrong 5 years down the track, I don't know who's going to repair it, which is always a factor I consider when buying a camera. Is there someone that can repair cameras? This camera's had no issues at all, and but yeah, there's no LCD bleed, nothing. So if you can get one that's usable for good price, go out and grab it and you have a blast. Okay, cheerio guys.